Rich and I got married. I was 21. I couldn't drink, right? Because I was still on the Norpace at the time. I couldn't drink at our wedding. So I remember we toasted with Mountain Dew. Now he's older than I am. He's 8 years older, so he could have drank. He's not on Norpace. But I couldn't drink, because it would affect. So they were telling me, like, you can't drink, don't have any alcohol. But when we were married, now remember dial-up internet. That's rich. Dial-up internet was a thing, and it kind of sucked, but that's what we had. I remember sitting in our apartment. Now, the internet back in the mid-90s is not the internet that we have today. And I always remind people of that it's a huge improvement today versus what it was way back when. Oh, I should have put the creams on. Always forget them. I was looking up, and I found service dogs, and I thought, well, that, because they're supposed to detect, especially medical episodes that, we can't detect. Because back then, they didn't have the Dexcom and everything else for diabetics. So I was like, that would be amazing. And I remember reaching out to a couple organizations. It was very hard to find any that specialized in medical alert at that time that were on the internet. But I remember reaching out and saying, hey, I'm interested in this. This is what I've been diagnosed with. Can you help? And one organization got back to me and said, I needed to submit an application and a $500 fee before they would tell me if they could help me or not. And I said, no, that's not how this goes. If you can help me, we'll scrounge up the $500 application fee. And to give you context, our car payment at the time was like $188. Our apartment was $350-ish, $375-ish, something like that. $500 is like a lot for an application fee for something that, you'll tell me then if you can help me. So we didn't do that. I was interested in it, but we couldn't have dogs in that first apartment we had up in Wisconsin. Couldn't have dogs. So, okay, didn't happen. I moved to Kentucky, moved to Maryland. My sister lived there at the time. My son was born. He was young, like maybe 2, I think. And we go to the park with him because we both lived in the same apartment complex. We go to the park for him to play. And what do we see but a Siberian Husky running around? So my sister and I spent probably about a half hour watching him and kind of trying to catch this dog because she didn't want to be caught. And caught her, brought her home, reported her, nobody claimed her. So started training her through the use of books and VHS tapes because, again, it was a long time ago. And she started alerting. We noticed she was alerting me to my dysautonomia episodes by blocking in front of me before I'd pass out. Which was pretty cool. Like, I finally had something that, as long as I listened to her, I was good. Perfect. And this, we're talking, Luke was born in 01. I think we moved in, 02 or 03. So, early aughts. I don't want to use my cellar water because I don't want to irritate my eyes. You see, they look really darn good. And I reached out to trainers in the area. And I said, hey, I found this dog. I noticed she is alerting me to my medical episodes. Can you help me train her to be my service dog? And I didn't hear back from them at all. I did hear back. Again, we were in Maryland on the Eastern Shore, right? So on the little divot over by the beach. One of them who said to come and visit her in New Jersey. And she trained dogs for hearing impaired people. One Saturday, Rich and me and young baby Luke and the dog loaded into the car and drove to New Jersey. I think it was maybe 3 or 4 hours away, but we were so excited. And we get there, she tells us to teach the dog M&M, which is have the dog on one side of me and put her head on my lap, and then go to the other side and put her head on my lap. And I said, well, what's that going to do? And she says, oh, just trust her. That's super good for medical alert service dogs. I was like, okay. Worked on that. That didn't do anything. Like, I don't understand. I still, to this day, don't understand. Eyeshadow's done because we're running low on time. We'll do eyeliner. Urban Decay, Perversion. I would take the dog with me whenever Luke would go to the parks because Rich worked. But Luke and I, when we'd go places, usually the Siberian Husky would come with us. People started asking me, because she was very well trained, very well behaved, even though, first service dog I'd ever trained. People would ask us questions, and I'd help them out as much as I could. We moved to Florida, and again, I reached out to the local trainers to see if anyone could help me with her, because I wanted to make sure I did it right. I didn't want to forget anything or be training anything wrong, but I wouldn't hear back from them at all. So I got in with the AKC Dog Club in Gainesville, Greater Gainesville Dog Fanciers Association, because they did have free training. The first one I went to was Rally. I had no idea what Rally was at the time. It's a bunch of stations, and you go up to the station and you do what the sign tells you to do. If it tells you to walk up and have your dog sit, that's what you do. FanFest Mascara. The trainer at the time there was clicking every step my dog would take. I'm like, I don't think that's how that's supposed to be. At least that's not how my dog understood the clicker. Within, probably a month, I was co-teaching the classes with her, helping her out and everything. And then, a couple months, someone shows up to the dog club meeting and asks for Victoria. She was referred to me by somebody for dog training, which was pretty awesome. So that was my first paying client, and it was a pay me what you think it's worth. And we did, I want to say 6 sessions. And, let's start with the big ones. It was aggression reactivity. So we got together, we did that, and I thought, I bet I could do something with this, and I turned it into a career. Patrick Ta, She's a Doll for Blush, Fenty Lip, and the Danessa Myricks Illuminating Veil. But that's how it started, right? And I thought I could make a business out of this. And we did flyers and business cards, printed off on the home computer, and put up at the pet supermarket. And that's what started. But because of that service dog history and understanding disabilities, that's been a lot of what I've got.